In the 2008 UEFA Champions League final, Chelsea faced Manchester United in Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium on a rain-soaked May 21st. Chelsea dominated much of the match, creating the better chances, but the game ended 1-1 after extra time. A heart-wrenching penalty shootout saw Manchester United nick the win by a whisker. Missed golden opportunities and pivotal moments that flipped the script led to a post-match circus of finger-wagging and blame-tossing, though the squad's bromance stayed rock-solid. Chelsea's red-hot talisman Didier Drogba, after his Liverpool-slaying heroics in the semis, was a constant menace in the final. But the Ivorian's fiery temper boiled over in the 117th minute of extra time in Moscow. During a heated scuffle, Drogba slapped Manchester United's Nemanja Vidic, a moment spotted by assistant ref Martin Balko, who ratted him out to head honcho Lubos Michel. Referee Lubos Michel didn't hesitate, flashing a straight red card for violent conduct, sending Drogba off. Years later, Drogba admitted regret, but at the time, he reportedly grumbled about the call, hinting the ref was too harsh.
Did you take any responsibility for losing that game on your shoulders?
I think not for losing that game, but for letting my people down. Because I think we had chances to win it also.
Some Chelsea diehards chimed in, moaning that United players dodged punishment in the same brawl. Still, the match's major refereeing calls weren't broadly contested. Drogba's teammate Claude Makelele, however, wasn't shy about pointing fingers, saying Drogba should have kept his cool.
Drogba sent off as well. I've never really spoke to many Chelsea players about what the feeling was like in the change room. What was it? Take us back there.
Sometimes it's difficult to talk about this. Me, I'm frontal person. Didier, I tell him, Didier, you can't do this. Red card, we dead. With you, maybe we win before going penalty.
Yeah, because you was on top.
Because we knew if we go on penalty, you are the player better for shoot penalty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you would have took a penalty.
He pinned some of the blame on him, because Drogba's penalty prowess might have saved the day in that gut-wrenching shootout loss. In retrospect, it threw a massive wrench in Chelsea's trophy dreams, shuffling their penalty shootout plans into chaos. Cristiano Ronaldo fluffed Manchester United's third penalty. But Chelsea's first four gunners, Michael Ballack, Giuliano Belletti, Frank Lampard and Ashley Cole, nailed their shots. Salomon Kalou was all set to fire Chelsea's fifth, the clincher for glory. But in a wild plot twist, skipper John Terry, not on the original penalty list, decided to grab the fifth kick. Disaster struck as he slipped mid-stride, shanking the ball wide to the glee of United's keeper, Edwin van der Sar.
Terry to win it! Oh, he slipped! Unbelievable! A lifeline for United!
Kalou bumped to the sixth penalty, kept his cool and scored, but the damage was done. Tongues wagged over why John Terry, not a usual penalty taker, take the critical fifth penalty. Claude Makelele, Terry's former teammate, threw shade, suggesting Terry's choice was more about chasing personal glory than putting the team first. Makelele reckoned Salomon Kalou, Chelsea's penalty wizard at the time, was the safer bet to seal the deal.
It's a penalty.
And we come back again.
You were really angry, right?
Yeah, I'm very angry because I knew for coming to final is difficult, Champions League final. And I knew some young boys that will lose this opportunity for winning this trophy.
So the reason why you lost is because John Terry thought it was John Wick, bruv, and he thought it was a shooter, and then he ended up missing. No, that's what
I don't want to put, what do you say?
All the blame on John.
All the blame on John, but in this moment he need be understanding his captain.
Yeah.
He's the leadership of the team.
Captain America.
And he did make sure we take the trophy.
Selfish.
No be hero. He's still my friend, huh? You can't just cut everything like this because I'm frontal guy. But if he knew this, he will be the hero because he will be the first who takes the trophy for me.
Yeah.
But never. And the one I tell me this story, I feel, what?
What was the story?
Oh, it's my turn, but Johnny take my ball.
Oh, so John Terry took the penalty instead of Kalou to win the game?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because Kalou is the best penalty in this time in Chelsea.
Was he?
Oh, yes.
Wow. So why at that time you didn't say something? Say, hey,
No,
what's going on?
I did know this later, because in a game, if I knew this, of course I would tell John, no, John, leave him go. Better take the better concentrate, frustrate. We are on a penalty. I'm focused for different things, and it's happened. But of course.
But Frank Lampard had Terry's corner, defending his skipper's bold move to grab the high-pressure kick, even if it ended in disaster.
Inconsolable.
Well, you see him out there because John is Mr. Chelsea. He's Chelsea through and through. He's a club captain. He wants this more than anyone, as much as anyone at this club. I just want to say that not many centre-halves will stand up and take penalties. The fifth penalty of this importance, and that's testament to his character as a man. No one at Chelsea will criticise him for that. No one at all. At the end of the day, it's a game of football, and John is a man's man, and he done what he done. We'll be back.
Some tried to shift the blame from Terry's miss to the pitch itself. Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium typically rocked an artificial field turf pitch to survive the brutal Russian winters, but UEFA insisted on a temporary natural grass surface for the final to meet their elite standards. Reports, including UEFA's own review, confirmed the pitch was top-notch despite the tricky climate. John Terry's slip during the penalty shootout was then attributed to wet conditions from rain, not the pitch quality itself. Up to date, the blunder stirs up a storm of emotions whenever the topic come up, a moment that refuses to fade. Manchester United fans hold it dear, one of their sweetest triumphs, with some hurling jabs at Terry, calling it poetic justice for his unpunished spit on Carlos Tevez in the heat of the game. You'd expect Chelsea fans to rally behind their former captain, but some sting him with harsher words than you'd sling at a flop, let alone a legend who gave the club everything and could easily be crowned their all-time greatest. The scar still lingers, unforgiven by many, unforgettable to all. Winter signing Nicolas Anelka was Chelsea's 7th penalty taker. Anelka was reluctant to take a penalty among the first 5, preferring a later spot as he was not confident enough. His decision to take the 7th kick proved costly. Edwin van der Sar, reading Anelka's body language, saved the weak shot to his left, clinching Manchester United's 3rd Champions League title. Rather than owning the miss, Anelka dropped some jaw-dropping bombshells post-match, pointing fingers at manager Avram Grant. He fumed that he wasn't given proper time to warm up before being thrown into the fray as a substitute. At no point did I think I was going to come on. I was on the bench and suddenly I am asked to play, not even a minute after I was sent out to warm up. I don't know if that has ever happened in a Champions League final, that a player has gone onto the pitch without having warmed up. I was then asked to take one of the first 5 kicks, but I said, that is out of the question. I have come on as a right-back. So I had to go in 7th, but Van der Sar pushed away my shot. All the better for him. That is the game. In a later documentary, he confessed the miss made him feel like a traitor, haunting his time at Chelsea despite later triumphs. But the fact that Anelka seemed surprised that he would be expected to take a penalty really sounded astounding. One could argue that as a striker, logic would dictate that he would be among the first choices to take a penalty, because his primary role on the pitch is to get the ball over the opposition line. Fast forward, Chelsea's top brass, owner Roman Abramovich and chairman Bruce Buck, didn't hold back in pinning the blame on manager Avram Grant. Despite steering Chelsea to their maiden Champions League final and a nail-biting second-place finish in the Premier League, Grant's efforts fell short of the club's sky-high standards. Buck laid it bare. We have very high expectations at Chelsea, and a couple of second-place finishes is just not good enough for us. Grant got the boot just 3 days after the final, with Abramovich and club execs already hunting for a new gaffer the very next day, eager to find someone who could clinch the elusive top prize after a gritty but trophyless season. Avram Grant, in later interviews, tossed some of the blame aside, griping that Nicolas Anelka's 2008 winter signing was forced on him by Chelsea's higher-ups, hinting the club's transfer meddling mucked up his game plan for during the season. The Luzhniki loss stung like a bee, but it was a bitter lesson that paid off. 4 years later, in 2012, Chelsea stormed back to the Champions League final in Munich, this time grabbing their chances with both hands to claim the club's first ever title. Stalwarts like Didier Drogba, John Terry, Frank Lampard and Petr Cech, veterans of the 2008 heartbreak, soaked in the glory. But for players like Michael Ballack Alex and Joe Cole, who'd left Chelsea before 2012. That Moscow miss was their last shot. They hung up their boots without ever lifting the Champions League trophy.